that is posted to the city's website. So city staff knows this, but for those that are joining the meeting as guests and applicants, then be advised that you are being recorded. So we do have a quorum. We'll call the meeting to order. If anyone that is not an applicant, that is a member of the public that wishes to speak to an agenda item, kindly send me a message over the messaging chat function and let me know that you'd like to speak. So first item of business is suspension of the rules in order to allow us to participate electronically. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I will. Electronically or by telephone?
Second.
All right, Michael, please call the roll.
Johanna Knighton.
Aye.
Mangum.
Aye.
Gertis.
Aye.
Biggs.
Aye.
Tristan.
Aye.
Cueva.
Aye.
Hank.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Griffith. Aye.
Okay, next up, the meeting minutes of August 26th, 2020. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, Michael, please call the roll.
Knighton.
Aye.
Mangum.
Abstain.
Gertis.
Aye.
Biggs.
Aye.
Tristan.
Aye.
Cueva.
Aye.
Hank.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
And I abstain.
Okay, great. First item of new business is 620 Madison Street, River Place Church. Applicant submits for permit for a mural in the C2 Commercial District, preliminary and final review. All right, I think I saw Reba Place and the artist in the room. Are you guys here?
Yes, we are. I'm Pastor Charlotte Lehman, and also I saw Rob Larson, who's our artist and a member of the community as well here.
Great.
Hello.
Hello. So we'll share the screen with the packet in a moment. And then why don't you guys just walk us through what you'd like to do?
Sure. So I can just say our worship space, as you know from your packet, is located in 620 Madison across from the fire station #2. It's a long ago refurbished warehouse. I think it was actually for painting buses originally. Doesn't really look like a church, typical church building. And we'd love to make it a little more easy to identify, not be so like hard to find for some people, and put some artwork on the side. So we're talking about banners on a professional custom canvas that would be painted and applied to the west facing wall. 6 of them, one larger at 12 by 12 foot, the other 8 by 8, the other 5 8 by 8 feet. So they will be essentially permanent, waterproofed and up on the walls, but can be easily taken down to be repaired or maintained as needed.
Can I stop you right there for just 1 second? Mike,
Sure.
Are you having a hard time getting this up?
Yeah, I thought I did have it shared. So let me.
I see your email inbox. I don't know. Does
Okay,
everybody else see that, or is it just me?
No, I see it too.
Okay.
All right. I thought I had it clicked on correctly.
I don't know if it's just like your screen's frozen. And, oh, that's something different.
Let me rejoin. I can't figure out how to get to even the menu screen.
I don't know. Can anybody else share their screen? Because I have it. I could share your packet on my screen if you want.
Well, we'll need it for other items, so let's let Mike try to sort it out.
Okay.
You know what? Why don't you stop sharing your screen and then get to the right tab and then share it again, Mike? Can you do that?
I'm trying to figure out where we're at here. Okay.
You have
Sorry.
stopped sharing your screen, so that's a good step.
Yeah.
Now share your screen again.
All right, hold on. Screen one.
Well, we really appreciate your time and looking into this question for us. So thanks for that. There it is.
Yay.
Okay, yeah, there it is. So that's our little mock-up picture with little sketches of the designs where they would approximately be on the side of the building there. As you can see, they're essentially abstract designs as opposed to words in the designs. We are planning to put small plaques on the wall below them to give a little bit of, titles and interpretation to them. But as far as what would be generally seen, from the street, you'd just see the abstract design. It's a folk arty look, which, is consistent with our community as a church and other involvements in our community. The 10,000 Villages Fair Trade store that's out on Chicago Avenue now, we had a lot of people involved in the founding of, and also we have a connection in El Salvador with a community there and a sort of artist, a famous Salvadoran artist named Fernando Yort. So those are influences on the art style. Yeah, so that's the plan. We're not asking for any money. I think you all know that. We're just wanting approval to put our designs on the wall. And Rob, as you said, the artist is here and can say more about the actual construction or technical details if you have any questions about that.
I think one of a general question we have would be maintenance. What is the plan for maintenance to make sure these stay put and also that they maintain their look as new or newish going forward?
Sure, I can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so they are removable and they are going to be done with outdoor acrylic paint. We are going to be putting polyacrylic over the front and the back to weatherproof it. It does, it has 5 to 10 year weather resistance with those applications. And if they get graffitied or if they get ripped, the congregation can take them down, repair them, repaint them. We're making them so we can repaint them as needed. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Any other questions from staff?
Yes, and I apologize because the people next door are having their lawn mowed right now. So I'm sorry for the background noise if it is happening. But is this being approved as a mural or as signage?
Laura, it's not being considered signage. It does not have a commercial message. We do not consider it signage.
So in the past, I believe that we have had murals go through the Art Council for blessing before they're approved by us. Has that happened?
Yep, Rob and I met with the Public Art Subcommittee last week, September 1st, I think it was, and they told us they were passing on their positive recommendation to you all for this.
Okay.
All right, anything further? If not, let's entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion for approval, a positive approval of preliminary and final review.
A second?
Okay, Michael, please call the roll.
Naiden,
Aye.
Mangum,
Aye.
Gertis,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Cueva,
Aye.
Ike,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Griffith, aye.
All right, great. Thank you. We look forward to seeing this on Custer and Madison.
Great, thanks so much. So you don't need us for anything else, right?
We do
All
not.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for all you
All right,
do.
next item.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, 819 Noyes Street. Gyua Kim, applicant, submits for a sidewalk cafe Soban Korea in the B1 Business District. Is there anyone from the restaurant on the call? Okay. Any comments on this layout? Gary, are they're already in operation, right?
They were given approval conditioned upon Dapper comment and approval.
All right, are there any comments or concerns with this? If not, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Second?
Okay, Mike, please call the roll.
Nyden,
Aye.
Mangum,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye, sorry.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Cueva,
Aye.
Hike,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Griffith, aye.
Okay, great. Next item, 1245 Hartree Street. Alan Yoder, applicant submits for a permit for an exterior alteration of a commercial building, rebuild Evanston Warehouse in the I-2 Industrial District. So is there anybody here who's going to speak to this from Rebuilding Warehouse?
Hi there, this is Thomas Allman from Studio Talo Architecture. We're the architects for the project.
Great.
And this is Alan Yoder.
Great. Why don't you walk us through as we cycle through, why don't you walk us through what you want to do, what the proposal here is, and then we'll ask questions or wait till the end, however it kind of pans out.
Okay, great. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you guys. As you know, the Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse is currently located on Dempster, and they have the opportunity to expand to a space that's more than double their current size, and that interior project is underway. And what we're proposing is an interior and exterior improvement to help with the identify the space. It's a very large complex of a building, which you can see from the drawings that we submitted. And so they're trying to draw attention to the entrance, help people find it, and provide that in a way that's consistent with the brand and the mission of the organization. So to that end, we proposed a screen on the exterior of the building, which is made of steel and reclaimed rebar. There's also you can see the obtuse triangle that provides space for signage over the entrance as well as a canopy. There's also restriping of the parking lot and a minor amount of landscaping work to provide access from the accessible parking space as well as from the rest of the parking. It's a pretty small exterior project.
Was there one more page after this? Or am I imagining that?
I think there should be a perspective drawing. The perspective drawing is probably at the front.
There's one at the end.
Oh, at the end, sorry. So these are just, yeah, there we go. So you can see that there's a steel frame with the reclaimed rebar welded to that frame, and then the sign over the entry.
Okay. Any questions or comments from staff?
So my only comment would be that you do have some signage incorporated there. We would not want the screen to be used for any future signage, whether it's temporary or permanent.
Okay. Understood.
And then there's no plans to relocate that structure that's there on Dempster now to this location, right? That's gone.
Oh, the tiny house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
No, that's a good question. I will talk with the executive director. Do you all have some thoughts on that?
You know, I just think there's a lot of blind spots along this stretch, even with you know, it being open. And it adds to extra clutter and confusion, and there's just a lot of things visually to look at as a pedestrian or driver. There's no sidewalks in this area, so I think to the extent that you don't add additional clutter to that, that would be good.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure they're not. I don't want to speak for them right now, but that definitely hasn't come up. And considering we've talked about every inch of the exterior of this project, I think it would have come up if they were going to use it. But I'll make sure they know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
Sorry,
problem.
this is Ina Gutierrez. I'm the director at the Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse, and I'm stealthily listening. We are going to get rid of that tiny house in the front, so it will not be moving with us to the new location.
Great. And then where is, I must have missed it. Where's recycling and trash going to go?
Ina, maybe you can speak to that. But that's part of the interior work. My understanding was that you guys were going to use the loading dock.
Not on a permanent basis. It'll probably be in between us and Allegra Printing. But we do often have need for dumpsters temporarily in the loading dock when we have big trash needs.
But I mean, the day-to-day, the weekly garbage, where will, can you go back to the
It'll
site
be,
plan?
yeah, it'll be on the,
Mike,
the
can you go back to the
space.
site plan?
So Ina, is that the area that we had talked about before with the trash bins?
Yeah, our intention is to create enclosures on the space between us and Allegra.
Which is just to the north.
The north, thank you. My directional abilities are limited.
And does that take away any of your parking, or is that outside of the site?
Ina, correct me if I'm wrong. There are dumpsters out there right now. I assume those are the ones that you're talking about that we should have put on the plan here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can add those and resubmit if that would be helpful.
That would be helpful, just so it doesn't, it's good because then they don't move to a new location once the project is done, and I would want any approvals to be subject to the inclusion of that information.
For sure.
All right. Other questions or concerns? Will there still be? There's still going to be those parking bumpers in between the two sites, right?
I think so. Isn't that Reed's intention, Ina, to leave those there to separate who parks where?
Yes, those are the owner's bumpers, and we have nothing to do with them.
Okay, great. All right. Any comments or concerns from staff?
I'm back on parking here. So where is that parking on the site adequate for your staff? Is that where they will be parking?
No, those are just for customers during our retail hours. Our staff currently parks in the lot on the corner of Dempster and Hartree, and has for a long time.
Which is also owned by the same owner of this building. Is that right, Ina?
Correct. And we have permission to do that.
And I guess one last question. So will there be new bumpers? And I mean, I'm assuming the circulation is people come into the site and then park, or are we just assuming people can kind of pull in off a Hartree to those parking spaces?
Right now, there is no curb there. That is
Right.
just, the road just rolls right onto the asphalt. And we had just met about this last Friday, so this isn't reflected in the drawings yet. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ina, but I think the intention is to install the parking bumpers on the east side of the west parking spaces, so that people are parking, they're pulling right off of Hartree rather than pulling into the space, into the lot.
That is what we discussed, yeah, which is as it is now. Mm-hmm.
But there'll be some kind of parking bumpers there.
Right. There are not parking bumpers right there. We would put them there.
Okay.
Maybe a clarification, and taking a look at the key plan a couple pages earlier, and this page and the GIS aerial, are those western spaces on your property or on the public right of way?
Ina, can you address that?
So my understanding based on our lease is that we have access to all of these spaces. The ones that are aligned with the building are tagged as ours. But I believe actually that is public property, the west side.
So the parking bumpers would be going on the lot that you rent, not public property.
Correct.
I guess my only concern about the bumpers and what I was trying to get at is when it snows, people may not see those, and if things have been plowed, you're not going to see those things, or a plow truck comes in and removes snow and moves stuff around. It doesn't seem to be in the most logical spot. So I don't know if Laura, you want to weigh in on this. It's like, do you even bother to put bumpers in that middle area, because a plow with a driver who doesn't know the area or where the bumpers are takes them out and moves them around, and then you have them all clustered somewhere that they're not supposed to be.
I actually don't love putting bumpers there because I do think it's public property. It's kind of a gray area we've never really resolved with Mr. Beidler. But in general, I'd like to keep hard things off of, you know, permanently installed hard structures off of the public area. The only other concern I really have, which really isn't related, really doesn't have much to do with Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse, is south of there is the ETHS Day School. There's been a lot of concern expressed by residents of the public and attendees of the ETHS Day School that they don't necessarily walk south on Hartree till they're directly across from ETHS Day School and then cross the street right there. There's a lot of people who are just generally walking there. Plus, you may find that some of your parking is co-opted by people who are dropping off at the ETHS Day School. So it's not really a problem to be solved at the moment because I don't really think there's a solution that is the responsibility of this particular tenant. But it is a concern that the whole pedestrian flow in this area is a little out of whack. So something to watch. You're gonna have a lot of people that are pulling in and out of that loading dock area. And the frame is, the screen is see-through, I believe, looking at the drawings.
That's
so
correct.
It doesn't necessarily create any kind of visibility problem to the north, and to the south, it's just the building. So I don't really see anything that you are going to do or not do that's going to change the situation at all. But it is just something to be wary about with the drivers.
Understood.
And just for your information, so this is a fairly recent application submittal. It has not had architectural review. So this is a design and project review approval. So it still needs to undergo that architectural review.
And what's the next step? And does this then go to another committee after this one?
Our understanding is that it would just need to go to the building department.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we could go to permit after the zoning and architectural reviews are complete.
All right. Any other staff comments or questions? All right. Is there a motion with certain caveats or conditions?
I will take a shot at this. I will make a motion for approval of preliminary and final review contingent on when this goes to permit with the building department, that the zoning and architectural review have been completed and any comments have been incorporated appropriately, and that the drawings indicate the waste management plan, including dumpster locations.
Second.
All right. Michael, please call the roll.
Nyden,
Aye.
Mangum,
Aye.
Curtis,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Cueva,
Aye.
Hike,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Griffith, aye.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. So there is no DAPR next week. No agenda items, right, Mike?
Correct. No meeting next week.
Okay.
The following meeting is the 23rd.
Do we have an item?
Yeah, there's at least one item.
Okay. Great. Then motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
Thanks.